So for me, it was the thing that was most appealing, was solving that problem of me not actually wanting to do everything, because that's where I failed in the past. Try to do everything, fail. And so if I can enlist a bit of help here and a bit of help there, I think that I'm much more likely to succeed this time around.
Paul here, and I've got Andrew with me today from the Soft Standard. So, quick introduction to Andrew. So, Andrew joined our e-commerce circle community. Jump in here, Andrew. How many months have you been in
I
the community
think
now
it's a
for?
couple of months now, maybe 3 months ago. Yeah.
3 months. Yeah, yeah. And he's got an amazing brand called the softstandard.com.au. So head on over there and check out the amazing stuff that he sells. So I might throw to Andrew and give you a bit of his quick pitch and tell us all about what he's doing at the moment.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. So yeah, a fairly new startup, started just before the end of last year, just before Christmas. At the moment, the range is just we've got about 7 different couch covers that we're stocking, as we kind of ease in to where we want to go. But the reason for the name is I kind of want to expand out into other products, soft textiles in the future. So keeping the branding and the name pretty broad. So yeah, toe in the water with some couch covers. Had a need for a couch cover myself, and noticed that the options that were out there were pretty limited. So yeah, that's kind of how the brand was born, and just thinking future, how we can kind of grow it into something bigger in the future.
Yeah, right. Because you've still got, I think you mentioned you've got a job, day job, and
Yep.
this is your side hustle and so
Yep.
forth. So, where, before you joined us, what kind of were the bottlenecks and the biggest issues that you were having at the time with the business?
I think for me, I've had a crack at a couple of different e-com stores in the past. And what I found most challenging, especially when you're doing it as a side hustle to start with, is, the different hats that I have to wear. Like I'm a product manager by trade, so I've got a lot of experience with commercial things and with marketing and product development and building requirements and that kind of stuff. So I've got a fairly well-rounded set of experience that can help me. But where I found that I was struggling was with things like advertising, and the more kind of granular stuff when it comes to website engagement and conversion and stuff like that. So, in my mind, it's something that I could absolutely go and learn. And I was like, how do I do that in an efficient way? And I was part of the Shopify community on Facebook, and I saw that you guys really engage with people that are looking for that kind of help. And so, I just kind of reached out and went from there. I think I joined one of your workshops
Yep.
on a Wednesday night, is it?
Yep.
And yeah, I liked what I heard. I liked the way that you engaged and kind of take people on the journey. It's not just always about doing it for me, but with that option for later, when we start to scale. So for me, it was the thing that was most appealing, was solving that problem of me not actually wanting to do everything, because that's where I failed in the past. Try to do everything, fail. And so if I can enlist a bit of help here and a bit of help there, I think that I'm much more likely to succeed this time around.
Probably makes a lot of sense given your background as well, though, as a product manager. You can see the path from beginning to end, and then correct me if I'm wrong here, but you're like, well, here is all the steps that I need to take. And there's a lot of different ways that I can take all of those steps. So it sounds like you go, now I can see a clearer path of like what those steps involve and how like our team can help
Exactly.
educate you to do things better and then do the things that you want to do yourself better
Yeah,
and then outsource the other things that you don't want to do, right?
that's right. And it's all about speed and efficiency for me. Like, I could probably chip away at each thing over a very long period of time and have a fairly decent outcome. But I've got some kind of personal goals to ramp up relatively quickly. And so getting help is absolutely going to be needed if I want to achieve those goals, because I don't want to start employing people. I don't have the cash flow for that.
Mm.
So yeah, it was all about looking at that kind of longer term plan and saying, well, what's the best way to get there? As you said, there's different paths I could take. But this one looks like probably a more successful option, or a more promising option, I should say. and should get me there quicker, hopefully.
Do you think if I was to put you on the spot here, and just for those watching later, there's no script here, we're just having a chat, but if there's like, if there been say two or three different things that have really helped you get clarity on that have kind of got you unlocked and, like helped you move forward when it comes to like, what you've learned in the community? Because I mean, I see you on lots of calls, coming to the calls, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know you've got access to the training and you're probably watching the recordings as well because you're a busy guy and you can't make all the calls, and some people go, I can't do that. And I'm like, so for those of you that like Andrew, go, I'll watch the call later. But like,
yeah.
I guess my question is how, if I frame it properly, like in the context in which we help you learn from us, what is being the most successful things that you've kind of taken from the community, and how have you gone about that process?
I think for me, the thing that I've found most beneficial so far, if I'm being totally honest, is when I've felt like this is this only is this like what is happening right now. So like for example, my sales took a dive for like no apparent reason like a month or so ago, and I was starting to kind of really panic. And the biggest benefit that I've had so far is being able to jump into those calls or jump onto the recordings and see that the same kind of stuff is happening to other people. It's not necessarily me. Like for the moment, I'm kind of solely focused on meta advertising. So I can kind of go to all those resources, ask Lachlan, watch the recordings, and quickly be reassured that there is actually a path out of it. I think
Yep.
if I didn't have that support, then I would quickly panic and start to worry about whether should I still be pumping this $200 a day into these ads.
Yep.
So the support around trying to contextualize what's happening with my day job, I can actually go to other people and find out what the market conditions are and get that information, those insights that help me make decisions. When you're running a small business yourself, it's very hard to go out and find that. So I
Mhm.
find that the most beneficial part is the community aspect, seeing how other businesses are doing it. And even just simple things like, there's been a few times where I've seen other people share their metrics on their meta ads, and I've noticed that they've got a better CPA than me. So I know that it's possible to actually refine that and get it down and get it humming. Without that kind of insight, I would potentially make a different decision, right? So for me, that's the most important thing. The training has been really great as well, like watching the video training on meta ads and creative. I'm going through the process at the moment with the conversion and trying to refine the website itself. So I'm just kind of like slowly kind of saying, well, where can I make an incremental improvement? Is there a resource there available for me to tap into? And there has been for most of the things that I've needed. And so then I kind of focus in on that. And at the moment, I'm focusing on conversion. Like, how do I kind of get that humming? And then once I've got that sorted, I'll go back to the meta ads and kick those back off. So there's there's a few different times where I can kind of think and go, I've really relied on that external validation or that external advice or that external insight to help me make the next decision and not kind of panic
Mm.
and kind of like, you know, uh, deter me from what I'm trying to do.
I see that often as well. And I mean, people outside of the community, right? Their default, where do I want to go with this? That their default setting is to go, okay, it's gone bad. I will panic, exactly like you said. And then the second thing is they just go and do this thing where I call it like collecting infobesity, because they collect so much information from everywhere. They'll go
Yeah.
find a guru on TikTok and someone on YouTube, and they're like, oh, hope one of them works, right? And then they deploy that strategy and they go, that didn't work. And then they go to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And I mean, I think I'm pretty proud when I say this, but our community, a lot of you are kind of running on the same path, doing the same thing, doing the same system, following the same process, and go, it's working for them. We need to pivot and change a tiny bit for you, but like do this thing because this is
Yeah.
working right now. And it's like so nice to hear when you say, like, when I have those, you have these flat days and so forth, it's like, oh, it's been a shit day, right? And it happens, right? It's e-commerce,
Mm, mm.
having the ability to then just put your hand up in the community and there's hundreds of other people and going, hey, what's going on for everybody else? And they go, yeah, it's good, it's bad, change this, do that. And then you'll go back on the right path. Like, I think yeah, that's something I'm proud of though, like the culture that we've built. But it's not just the culture that exists like within my team, it's a culture that like people like yourself are building in our community where you guys are in there and, like sharing what's working for you as well. Even the brands that are much bigger than yours and the brands that are smaller, they're like, hey, this is what's actually working in the market at the moment.
Yeah,
So it's always so nice to see.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so you're getting Lockie's helping you run your ads, and I hear nothing but great stuff from Lockie. He's been with us for like nearly 2 years now, so that's always super refreshing to hear.
Mhm.
You've just purchased the converter kit. I think that was
Yep.
like 2 weeks ago, and I'm watching the chats and I'm seeing you're blasting your way through it again. Put your hand up, guys. I don't know how to do this thing. And how have you found that so far, the converter kit?
Um, the converter kit has been interesting. I I can see, I guess like with anything, right? The more features, the more customizable, the trickier it's going to be.
Yep.
Obviously, anyone can just buy a cheap theme that's already completely set up. It looks amazing, but it's very limited. And I think that's what I had with the previous one. Like it literally took me a day to set the previous one up. But the problem is it isn't customizable enough. It isn't advanced enough. So it looks really great and it can do the basics, but I couldn't get it to that next level. Whereas this has kind of gone to the other end of the spectrum where it's so feature rich and there's so much in it that I've kind of felt a little bit overwhelmed, especially at the start. But what I've realized is the GPT, whilst it does throw some kind of curlies every now and then, it's helped me solve so many different questions that I've asked. So even
Yep.
on the weekend when there's limited support, and the support that you guys provide is great as well. Every time I've had an issue, someone's jumped on it, either helped me, told me what to do, or gone in and fixed it for me, which has been amazing. But on the weekend, I actually used the Chat GPT a lot more, refined my questions when I was asking it as well, and actually pasting code in from my website actually really helps. And then it kind of knows the context. So once I learned how to use the tools, the support tools a little bit better, I found that it was a lot easier. So my main feedback is it has been difficult. I think a bit of extra documentation about how to go about using the GPT might be really great. But I can see the power in the theme, and I'm starting to see that come through now. So I've just published my site. I've got a few tweaks still to make, but I'm going to be really interested to watch the customer recordings and see how customers interact with it.
Mm.
But yeah, like it looks good. I think yeah, now it's just about seeing how it kind of plays out.
I was looking at your site before and I'm like, oh, he has turned it on already. And I'm like,
Yeah, I turned it
what's
on. I was like, I'm just going to turn it on because I want to see it
yeah.
in the live environment because I know sometimes with the preview it doesn't quite pick everything up. And I was right, like there's some things coming through on the live. I'm really happy with it. But like I need to kind of go through it with a couple of other people, I think, and get some fresh eyes on it because I've been looking at it for 2 weeks and
Yeah.
my head's
Yeah.
spinning a little bit. But yeah, like I can see the power in it. There's so many different templates and so many different elements that I'm not even using. It's like
Mm.
thinking about in the future once I've got especially once I've got more products. Because at the moment, my product's very simple. I don't have a lot of categories. Like I can see where a lot of your other customers are using it a lot for the menu categorization and all of those kind of powerful features that I just don't need right now. So just
Yep.
knowing that it's future proof for that later so that it's set up for success when I do expand out.
Mm. The thing that I like the most about when people use our converter kit, it's if I'm being a bit like selfish, it's the
Mm.
fact that like you guys come to the call on Friday morning, the founders call, and I can be like, hey, Andrew and like Therese and a couple other people, we're gonna actually have a look at your particular site right now. And I go, Andrew's done like a 9 out of 10 already on his site. He's crushed it. I said, but all you need to do now, go into your product page, turn this on, you turn that off, move this, move that around, click save, add these objections in that customers are likely to have, like do this thing to your cart, like, and you go, great, you can go away at the end of that call and you're like, I feel like a professional web designer because
Mm.
like it's so easy to use, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
there is obviously a learning curve to get up and running, and even that, like we've got 70-year-old ladies in the community that are like now wizards at using this thing. So
Yeah.
you're
And that's the
not,
thing, it's a learning curve, you know, and
yeah.
I think the other great thing about the way you've done it is when it comes to supporting your customers, if everyone's on the same theme, it makes it more efficient for you guys. So you're not having to go off and figure out, or what themes are used, like how does it work in that theme? Like you can provide answers really quickly. And that's what I've found. Like when I have needed help, because it obviously isn't, it doesn't get installed perfect. Like you do need to go through and make a lot of customizations.
Yep.
But when I've asked for help, someone's helped and fixed it straight away, and that's the sort of support you want, right? You don't want to be waiting 3 days for someone to respond to a ticket for you to then go and like this is a live environment we're talking about.
Yep.
You need help straight away, and I've been really happy with that support.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. And I was going to say that. So where I'd like to go from here is, I mean, you're doing well. I've looked at your data and stuff. You've gone from what numbers were you doing when you joined the community in terms of revenue? It was pretty low, right?
I don't think I think I joined right at the start, so I was pretty much
Oh,
on,
nothing.
yeah, like
Okay.
I
What?
might have turned on, I think I turned on some ads just before Christmas, and I saw some stuff come through, and like I just knew that wasn't where it needed. Like I knew that I needed help straight away, so I just joined because as I said, I'd been part of the community before. You and I actually had a conversation like a couple of years ago about a previous one, and I decided not to join the circle at that point, and just
Yep.
go it alone. And they're the things when I went this time, I went, no, this time I'm going to actually reach out. I'm going to get help. I'm going to pay for that help. Like it's worth it for me to have that support. So,
Yep.
I kind of joined pretty early. So I was, yeah, like the thing I've found is um, it's pretty scalable already, right? Like I did 10 grand last month, and that was just through having the right stock available and spending on the ads. Now, did I get those sales as efficiently and as cheaply as I wanted them to be? No, but it proved to me that there's demand there. And so now that I know that that's there, and I know that it can be scaled, I've turned that off now, and I'll go and get more stock. I will find
Yep.
cheaper stock. So for me, it's all about incremental tweaks, and yeah, I see it kind of that way. Like I can see the future, and it's just about like understanding what the next thing to do is.
Well, I think your website is like where it needs to be now, and very quickly you've like 2 months. You've gone from you did a great job. Like for everyone watching this later, Andrew had done a great job on. I think you're using Dawn or
Yeah, I
something,
was using
whatever.
Dawn. Yeah,
Yeah, you got as much as you could get out of Dawn, and I say this all the time. And I'm like, Dawn is okay for people that are getting started, like Andrew. And Andrew's a very technically competent person. That's what he does as a job, right? But anyway, I can see the gap, so I've gone and put the converter kit. He's validated his product. He's validated that he needs to buy more of the product because it's working. He's got his meta ads running. He knows what to do next. So, like, I love getting on these kind of things, and I'm like, what, like, tick, 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 tick. I go, where's next?
mm,
For the brand. I think you've already said that anyway. I've got to go get some capital to go buy more stock and then turn the ads back on and continue to scale
yeah.
those ads profitably and go, well, let's get to 20 grand and 30 grand. Like if you got a goal for say like, this time at the end of the year or something, like what are you thinking?
Um, Look, my goal, and I hope no one from my day job hears this, but my goal, my goal is to be out of corporate life in the within the next year.
Okay.
And that requires a fairly significant turnover. And so that's always the harder thing when you come into these kind of ideas, and you're already doing all right in life. Like the risk is higher, right?
Yep.
So for me, like, but in terms of the immediate term, like I'm actually heading to China in a week. Because I want to go and see suppliers direct.
Go shopping.
I know that the people, yeah, I'm going to go shopping. Like, I
Go
know
shopping. Yeah.
the people that get the good deals, are the ones that go form the relationships.
Yep.
They get the better pricing, they get the better quality stock. So, I've had so many samples delivered here that are just shit. So I'm biting the bullet. I'm going to do that. I'm serious, like, and then once I get back, it's just about making those incremental improvements. I want to be doubling each month,
Okay.
and see where I can get it to in 12 months.
Amazing. Amazing. All right, I might wrap it there. I think that's been like fantastic. Again, for those of you that are watching, again, like Andrew's process that he's gone on is very repeatable. He can probably confirm that himself, but like join the community, learn how, because you're still running your own ads, aren't you? Your own meta
Yeah.
ads.
Yeah, I'm
So
running
you
my own
go,
ads at the moment. Yeah.
he's got a good product. Like he validated that he could sell it. He's learned how to run his ads. He's learning how to fix his website. He's off to China to go shopping to sell more stuff. Like when you're around the right people, this stuff is not complicated as long as you're, intelligent fellow like Andrew. Some people have a hard time, but like he's doing the work, he's doing the right stuff in the right order, and it's working. So, yeah, thanks again, man, for jumping on with this.
No worries.
Just short chat and stuff. So, yeah, for everyone who watches this later, if you have any questions or comments, wherever you're seeing it, check a comment below, and I'll answer it, or Andrew will answer it if he sees it as well.
Yeah,
Cheers,
my
thanks,
pleasure.
mate.
Thanks, Paul.